Gotta love that. So guys, I am doing this week different. I'm sorry about the delay, but at the same time, it was needed. Otherwise, I would not have had the energy to do this here because these planets drag me, okay? I very much look forward to only teaching, only doing this because I love this. I love sharing information, and you guys have been so wonderful, honestly, at receiving. And like I see the progress in you. And I love the ones of you that send me questions and stuff. And then there are some of you, excuse me, I think I'm getting sick. There are some of you that are so busy that you have to catch up in like lumps, but you still let me know, hey, I'm trying. And I appreciate that because that so speaks to my soul. So today, you guys have been waiting 4 weeks for Spirituality 101. This whole month is going to be about Spirituality 101. These first 2 weeks, I just want you to listen. I'm going to word vomit everything that I know. Starting with this first video, Spirituality 101, so you can understand your place here, yourself as your spark. And I'm going to do this with me in a little bubble at the top of the screen over here so I can actually show you around my screen so that after this, you go out there and research because I always want you to be inspired to find people, listen to people, but find your own information because there's a whole set of gifts that you have that is separate from mine that will lead you to information that will connect to your path, your journey, who you are on your journey, which is what we are all searching for. All of this is about discovering who you are as an individual while you are here. Because when you go back into space, there is no individuality. You're a part of everything. When you look up at the sky at night and you see all that blackness and you see those stars and you sort of get that feeling, I know I can't be the only one like, damn, wish I could go there. It's because that's where we come from. But when you're up there, there's not really a separate identity. You're a part of the all. There's just so much cool stuff I have to tell you about space. Wow, because I actually feel more comfortable talking to people about the shit that's happening in space or the setup there than I do about Earth or politics or any of this stuff. Like I get in arguments all the time because I'm talking about spiritual stuff. And somebody who knows like some political or scientific shit will pop up. Like I've got like fluoride. I'm going to tell you more about this later because it's important, but let me touch on fluoride now. Fluoride calcifies your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is right here. Your third eye. It's actually an eyeball that is in your head. Oh, I get to show you guys. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. So let me flip this around for you. Here we go. The pineal gland is an extra eye in your head. They used to be very active before they started putting fluoride in our stuff. Now this blocks your intuition. I wish they could show eye facing upwards because it's an eye, a little eyeball that is facing up here, right? Can y'all see this? Ew, gross. But either way, when it's calcified, guys, see it right in here? It gets really small, really pea-sized. It's not supposed to be that size. It's about to be, I'm sorry, it's supposed to be about the size of an acorn. Maybe that's not, let me move closer to the camera. Yeah, it's supposed to be that size. When you keep using the fluoride that they have included in our canned foods, our toothpaste, our water, like everything of water, and they tell you it's to strengthen your teeth, but it actually stops you from receiving messages that let you know that you're not just a fucking human. So I made a post about that trying to be handy, and somebody's like, girl, I love you, but fluoride is for your teeth. So understand, as you learn, some of these things are for you to discover on your own, and not everybody, you can't take everybody with you. Something I'm learning, but pineal gland. So the overview for Spirituality 101 is today's conversation where we're going to discuss the outline, the breakdown, so you can understand where you are in the process, in the great scheme of things. Then we are going to get into this month more things like this pineal gland thing, so you can understand how your senses work. We're going to get into the clairs. And then by the end of the month, we'll be back into activities again, because I really want to get you guys into some form of meditation daily and understanding what you need to do with your physical in order for you to receive the best connection to your higher self. I'm not sure if I told y'all last week, but I cut out meat and stuff and I started changing things around. And man, it is a major difference. You literally have to tune your body to receive the best outcome. And the higher you raise your vibration, I know you hear this so much, but literally your vibration is just your vibe, like who you are, what's going on. If you're a sad person, depressed, you start attracting other sad, depressed people and sad, depressed things, bad incidences. You ever had somebody who like constantly feels like their life sucks over and over again? And you feel bad for them because you're like, damn, your life does suck. What is that about? So the electricity in your brain connects to your auric field, makes a magnet, if you will. If your magnet is sad, you attract sad, mad, sad shit, right? But as you release the lower vibrations, because meat doesn't have a frequency. After it's dead, it takes away all the vibration. So when you add meat into your body, you are pulling your vibration down, attracting more things, because literally you just consumed death. I'm going to keep it 100 with you guys. That was a living creature. That creature was supposed to grow up and help something, and then it gets to become a human one day. You killed one of your friends, possibly, because we're all brethren. The trees are our friends, like Pocahontas was on it. All of these things, when you first enter Earth, you have to start from the bottom. This means you go from a piece of dirt, and then you get to come back as a tree, maybe a particle of water, a raindrop, but you have to go through all the phases because this is what evolution is, an ascension. So today, let's get to, I'm so excited. I feel like I have like friends to talk to about stuff, so right. So first and foremost, I'm just gonna throw this stuff out there. Y'all are gonna see the names and the words and the stuff. You look it up, and if you find any cool stuff, bring it back to me because I love cool shit. So this is first and foremost. I wanted the big version of this. Is it not trying to give me that? Ah, it is a hater. So this is, can I move my little face? There we go. That works. This is a circular chart of the way the universe is set up. So we have recently discovered, or I recently talked with you guys about the fact that you are made up of ego, spirit, soul. Your soul is the part of you that is broken off from your spirit, which is your higher self, the big part that's up there wearing the VR trooper thing that's controlling this game. So your soul is the part of you that keeps adding karma and burdens and just feels guilty, so it gets stuck here. And every time you take up a human body, your soul burden's attached to that, and it plays out through your ego, which is the central part of the human that you are playing, the identity, the character. Ego is also attached to the energy here, the reptilian energy here. And I'm going to get into that into a second so you can understand what your ego is a little bit better as well. So right here, the cosmos of duality, light and dark, good and evil, all that is right here in the middle. God, the God we know of, is right here, right? These are all in the places that spirits are confined to matter. I don't know if you can see that. All spirits confined to matter. We are in the matter universe, the material universe, right? Now, God, the actual one, the thing that I have started calling source, once I realized that there is a whole entity that is pretending to be God, essentially, you have to separate that. Just saying God, like you don't know if he gives credit to the fake guy or the real guy. So source, that one is up here. The actual absolute being is at the very top. The angels and his whole squad are here. And then we have a material universe, right? So I think understanding that first and foremost really changes the game. The God of the Bible is a huge entity that has taken over the material universe. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this to you guys, and made himself God here. That's the Yahweh, the Jehovah, the one that was in the Bible, like, don't worship anybody but me. Like, they tell us don't ask questions, and that's why. Remember in the Bible, they said Eve ate from the tree of fruit. I'm sorry, the tree of knowledge, right? Because they don't want you to learn here. That scares you immediately from learning anything in the future, because as soon as you go to learn, and I'm going to let you guys research. This month is about researching these first 2 weeks. You'll see that once you research, the information is very, very out front. So I'm about to explain or show you guys the big setup. Let's see it. I messed that name up that day, didn't I? Okay, so this is Sophia. I'm gonna say that first and foremost. Sophia represents wisdom. This is the mother goddess, the light counterpart to Hecate, the lower self version, the queen of hell, queen of the underworld. Sophia is the queen of heaven. So what happens is Sophia, which is the first, what's the word I want to say? It's called the lesser eon. Eons are angels, essentially, things that come under God, thoughts that came out of the source, the one, right? So Sophia's at the bottom, the very first, like the female one, the most immature, like Ariel in the story, if you will. So she's at the bottom and she like is wondering about how all of this is freaking working because she's the only one in the material universe. Sophia begins the material universe at the 13th eon. Let me see if I can get that up here for you. The 13th eon. That's the top of the material universe that we can see in the stars. All those stars up there, guys, those are actually colonies of other life forms. They look like they look like just stars to us, but they're whole. The way we view our planets, that's what they do up there. There's life in the stars. So that's not a good example. I can't believe, like, I have all my stuff saved for you guys, but let me just take my time and calm down and it'll all turn out right? So the 13th eon is the Pleiades. That lines up, I spelled that all wrong, just ignore I'm all over the place. Is the Pleiades. That is in alignment with the constellation of Taurus, right? Here we go. It's up in the sky. See all this here? Those are freaking people's homes. It's cool and weird at the same time, right? So here we go. The Pleiades is up here, right? You see this, guys? That's where Sophia is from. That is above us, up in the sky. Anything that we can still see here is here with us in what we call the material universe. And for some people, to keep it completely 100, this is the kingdom of darkness. This is the part of the universe where God does not exist. This is the part of the universe where everything has separated itself from him, right? I don't even want to say him anymore. Like the idea of source is so big, it's not male or female. It just is. It is like a big computer. We're created from a big computer. I feel like all of this really has to do with the movie Alien in some way. And I'm going to go back and watch it, but there really is something to that queen mother and the fact that they're just like robbing the babies out of it because the souls come from somewhere. I haven't got there yet, but let me know if y'all make it there. So anyways, Sophia comes from the 13th eon, which is Pleiades, up there in the sky. Here we go. That's the one I wanted to show you guys. Love how that came together. I got to give you extra info. So here we go. The one, the main parent, the source, right? Source first broke down into these two things, thinking and thought, like, oh, I'm a thing. Then here we go. Sophia was up here, right? In the Pleiades, minding her freaking business. And then she saw that God made all these wonderful things, right? So Sophia said, hey, I want to see what I can make. Very similar to the Adam and Eve story. I don't even believe that Adam and Eve happened anymore based upon the way that this story goes. I believe everything's been changed to keep the people at bay, keep us at bay, essentially. As you can see, they are still doing. I'm going to try to stick to what I know for a fact, but I believe that there is a little bit of truth in everything that we just start discerning for ourselves. Conspiracy theories are called conspiracy theories because there are people who think more than other people. I mean, it's just natural thought. So Sophia decided she wanted to try to make something without her male counterpart, which is Christ. Christ has a sister energy that goes with it. When she tried to create something, it failed horribly without the male element. So she sort of just like tried to shove it off to the side and let it be and not notice it. That thing that she tried to shove off is right here. It did not realize it came from a mom, it came from anything. It just knows it was all alone in the universe. So essentially we're dealing with a God or a thing that has taken over the universe that has mommy issues. Yes, I'm taking shots because this is petty. It does not have to be like that here. So this Yaldabaoth is the name of the creature that is essentially keeping us here. So what happens when Sophia creates this thing? and it begins to create on its own. It starts to make things. And what the issue is that the Yaldabaoth does not realize that anything else exists. It really starts gassing itself up like I am God, and it starts creating things like planets and stuff, not recognizing that it is only making an inverted version of what's already made. As above, so below. What's above is a light version of this. If you have not seen the movie Us by Jordan Peele, do it. That is a representation of us. Some of this. Some people have been living above, and some people have been living below. We are the below. So this created a completely different, separate set of angels as well. When Sophia fell, as you can see right here, Sophia fallen wisdom, she cracked into multiple pieces, and she is the representation of the dark goddess, the mother goddess energy. Any woman that has been through anything difficult here is dealing with the Sophia Hecate energy. The Hecate part is meant to be a representation that you can go all the way to the bottom, to the underworld, to demonization, and rise back again to be in the position of Sophia. That is what the earth is going through right now. The mother energy of the planet is coming, of the universe technically, because that dude doesn't realize it has a mom, essentially. Mommy's coming home. To claim back this universe and bring it into balance. The material universe was just supposed to be here for us to enjoy our senses, guys. It was never supposed to be about pain and suffering. It was about to be, it was supposed to be like regular stuff, like your heart gets broken by your boyfriend, maybe you get in a car accident, but nothing like murder and all this horrible, horrible stuff that is going on here. So we're at the very bottom of this, as you can tell. But right here, if you didn't see that down here, guys, because you see all the planets here, there are people, I don't want to say people, they're energies. I don't know if they look like us, probably not. On the other planets, we cannot perceive them, but there are people there who live in colonies and things just like us, which is the main part of spirituality that I want to get into. I had a list of things. I got sidetracked-ish. So how this works. Everything up here is static. Think of white noise, right? We are all made of white noise that comes from the whole white noise place. And you all get a different name in your white noisiness as you come down these tiers. When you enter the material area, you finally get dense enough to become a thing on your own. You know how we have individual names here, planets, all that sort of stuff. Now, what happens to the angels and the stuff that was here already above, like Michael and what are some other names, you know? Angel names, right? So what happens is they duplicate it. They all split, if you will. Michael splits into Lucifer. Some of them other names I'm not saying, but you can, I'll show you on a YouTube video. Saying names is very important. Say, for instance, the movie Beetlejuice, right? You know how they have, you say his, please stop, I'm recording. You know how you have, they have you say his name 3 times? Beetlejuice is actually a star system in our Milky Way, right? Sorry about that, kids. Betelgeuse is a galaxy in our solar system, and in there are the darkest, heaviest entities, the most sadistic, monstrous type of entities. When you say that name 3 times, you are releasing one. Because you're in the kingdom of darkness, that's why they would do this. Everything here is designed to work in the favor of that guy, the Yaldabaoth, right? And the 72. There were 72 angels, 72 eons, as they're sometimes seen. Yes, eon flux, right? Crazy. It was trying to target or remind the people that are down here, or the fallen angels and stuff. But we'll get into that later, because that's a whole nother great story too, guys. So the 72 demons of Solomon, those are representation of the split versions of the angels, because you'll see there are 72 archangels too. And what does that add up to, guys? 144, right? So walk with me for a second. It's 144. Well, 72 light, 72 dark. There were originally 12 tribes. They didn't tell 12 tribes of 12,000. And how many people is that, guys? 144,000. So there is something lining up with the angel army and the demon army and their legions that has to do with us because these energies are in the people now. We are at the point where these frequencies are passed down the lines. So my first point I wanted to get to is the understanding of frequencies, the fact that we are static essentially. And a piece of that static breaks off from the whole. Our souls are huge. Our souls are at least 15 to 25 feet if they were to get into a physical body that they can actually fit. Because our bodies are not yet at the part where we can accept that. You know, when you look back at like ancient Egyptian statues and you see the people are freaking huge, right? That's because those creatures had their full consciousness. When you see, they say we have giants and stuff here, those are the Nephilim. Nephilim are the remaining bloodline of the angels and the demons that interbred with people. It's important for you guys to understand that demons are just inverted versions of angels. When they fell down, they got corrupted, so to speak, by the dark energy here. A good movie to reference for that, if you're a movie person, for you to understand how this energy works, is A Wrinkle in Time. Y'all, the bath is a big darkness, an energy of darkness, of hate, anger, greed, everything that happens when you don't have a mommy. See, these are the big giant ones. That's what happens when you have your full consciousness, when you have all your static in one body, and chances are you're male and female. That's why you get so big. You come together. Hermaphrodites are essentially the most powerful beings because they have all their power in one. That is the goal of what we're working to in Ascension, that when you come back here, you come back as a god, sort of, a giant. So, damn, it gets so good. I be forgetting where I'm going, y'all. So we have the giants here and the understanding of your full energy. I have my notes. Okay, so because you can't bring down your whole frequency here right now because of the boundaries that those dark entities have put here, we are taking a bit of our own static and putting it in here and letting it guide the ship. That is how your frequency works. So when these planets shoot out energy, like when you see Mercury retrograde or Pluto retrograde, or you see Venus in Taurus transit or something like that, understand that those planets are shooting down, come back to this picture, shooting down energy from the other planets, where all the karma and soul burdens that you have stored over time, they're shooting back down at you. That's how you continue to get caught in reincarnation cycles. Every time you feel guilty about something, or you didn't complete something, or there's something that weighs heavily on your mind, it gets stored in one of those planets. And when you decide to reincarnate, that stuff comes back, and that's what creates these charts. We are made of energy. So what happens when you pass away, if you have burdens, is you go to the underworld. The underworld is not essentially like hell, unless you did something really, really bad. Then you go to the main city of hell, which is called Pandemonium. That is where it's just, I mean, the name speaks for itself. Besides that, you can go to the Elysian Fields, which is still in, let me give you a picture because it might warm your heart. Because when you see the Elysian Fields, if you've been there, you feel it. Not park. This happens to me every time, guys. I think I'm looking for Elysian. There we go. Every time I see like the lavender and shit, it hits my heart. Like I know I've been there. But the Elysian Fields represent the place where you go in the underworld, where you're not ready to leave out of your earth cycles yet, but you need a break. Some people, like those who commit suicide or don't know how they died, sometimes they just wander around down there until they finally get to come back again. However that works, I don't exactly understand that part, but I know you do go to the river Styx. There is somebody guiding you down a river, and you do get judged in some way, shape, or form. But it is judged upon the weight of your heart and how much burden you have. If you don't have any burden, you get to go back home. If you don't have any beef, you get to go right back to this. Hold on, where are we at? Get out of here, go back up to the one. That is the goal. That is what ascension is. Letting go of all of your soul burdens so that you can return back to the all and get out of this place that is just literally dense energy meant to cause friction so that you push through it. This place originally was supposed to be a system where when you entered Earth, you went through all forms of life, and then you left afterwards. You came here as a school to learn. Yes, it was harder than the other places because it's the only place we can feel pain. It's physical, but it was little stuff, like nothing you would put a child, you know what I mean? Like difficult, but like not that bad. This war and the murder and all that other stuff are all connected to that demiurge spirit, the mistake essentially that was made. So now that it is a part of the all, the one. The mistake cannot be like destroyed, but we are right now in a time where it's about to be put in a cage for 1,000 years. So everything that you see revving up here, guys, and really like what the fuck is going on is what you're wondering in your head, is because we are at a form of end game. The 144,000, the people who were originally connected to the bloodline of the angelics, because remember, angels and demons are the same thing. The difference is that demons have been turned out, corrupted by the other demons. Essentially what happens is a form of, I don't know if you're into this, MK Ultra happens to the angels, so to speak. They're corrupted, they're perverted, and then they turn into demons. Because angels are simply carriers of knowledge, demons, carriers of knowledge that corrupts people, right? So trying to erase the fear out of there, there's no fear there. The power is within us all, so to speak. So the 144,000 have been sleeping. In order to survive this life undetected, you couldn't go around knowing who you were. So now they're starting to wake up because it's time. Jesus is not essentially returning within people. It's the Christ consciousness that is returning, the understanding that we are all connected and we all love each other and we are all working together to get the rest of us home. So what happens is if you can raise your vibration and get out of here with any burdens when this gate closes, because you'll be seeing when the gate is closing, it'll get really bad here. Then you go back to the all. And then there's a whole reset here when he'll be put away for 1,000 years and we'll have peace here. You'll get to come back to earth and enjoy it how it was meant to be before he's released again. But I'm like, how do I put this together here? Right now, everybody's picking a side. Reference film for that, I think it's Gretel and Hansel. It just came out like last year, a year before last. Beautiful Creatures, also a great movie that explains what's going on now. You're being asked to choose a side. If you choose to err on the side of self-interest, 51% or more of self to yourself, you get put away for the 1,000 years with everybody else. But if you're a person who came here and understands your individuality, but helps other people, it's 51% service to self, 49% service to other. People who are selfish, I was wrong with that, are 90% self, 10% others. You have to be at least 49% in service of others and happy with your life. And by happy, I mean, you see how monks walk around, guys? It's not that things don't happen. It's not that everything is all daisies all the time, but you have learned to cultivate such a level of peace inside yourself that you are internally unmovable. That is what you're seeking for. That Zen level is what gets you out of here. A reference movie for that is Lucy, if you want to understand the ascension process, because I know we see ascension everywhere here. Ascension is going beyond the ego. The ego is the piece of us that is connected to this Yaldabaoth. Let me show you the reptilian brain. Inside of all of us, there is a base level of emotions. A part of you that only cares about fucking eating and sleeping. You don't care about other people, just the most, you see my face? The most Martian part of you. That's called the reptilian brain, right? The goal is they want you to be so in touch with that. And you see the snake, right? The representation is crazy. That is the part of you that is run by your ego. See, survive, react, repeat. If you keep in this area of your mind, you never evolve. You never get to get out of here. And they keep trapping you here by keeping you stuck in cycles of making the same mistake again. It's a form of hell. It really, really is. Because you keep making the same mistake in a different body. You just don't remember. You have this weird deja vu freaking feeling. Like, hold on, I'm supposed to be doing something. Haven't I done this before? Yes, you have. And that Yaldabaoth thing erases your memory every time you come here. So that you don't know. A good reference for this, yes, because I have a show for everything. Neptune is in my 5th house, which means my creativity comes through things that entertain me. So The Good Place on Netflix shows you exactly how this works. Westworld also shows you this. And I really want to give you all stuff to look into this time so you can start to understand the process yourself. Because the more you understand how you've been finessed, you'll start to recognize your own power. God gave us all the same power. We are our own sovereignty. God gave us a spark so that we can create our own lives. You do not have to rely on anything outside you. And this is when you'll start to light up the neocortex, The part of you that is able to talk, think, learn, move, create ideas of your own, work on those conspiracy theories that the reptilian brain people don't believe in. So I'm really happy we got to this. My main notes today is I wanted to explain to you the frequency of spirits, how being a spirit works, how you exist in this body in the first place, how we reincarnate time and time again. Every day has different portals. That's what these birth charts are. They're showing what portals your consciousness came through, what skills you came with, because every line has different skills, but that's a whole different thing. You can tell, like Virgos heal people, Leos entertain, Sagittarius talk a lot. I had to take a shot there. Evolution to Ascension was also on my list, which is what we are going to be working on. So this was Spirituality 101. I wanted you to understand your place in the galaxy, where we are, what we are doing here. We are essentially working our way back up. And I believe that this book here, and you can get it for $2 on Kindle, and the Kindle app is free. This book will take you even deeper into what I just explained to you so you can understand what's going on here. It'll also help you understand possibly where you came from in space, because we all come from somewhere in those stars. Since we have all been created underneath the material realm, we have been here like at least 2,600 years in this last cycle. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to include a link for a video I want you guys to watch to understand the human history, because this is very important in regards to spirituality and understanding. Holy shit, I'm a ghost in a body and I have been working. Like, we've really been finessed. And my main goal as a teacher of the teachers is to give you guys the information that I know will help other people start thinking so their minds unlock. So let me know if this was easy for you guys to process and connect with. Was your mind blown? Did you feel like something was off here? Because there's got to be no way you don't feel like something is sort of weird here. I see people all the time like, how does God let stuff happen here? Because the God that's in charge of this wants that to happen. Now, look, I ended up on another subject. Because we're made of frequencies, right? When we get in these bodies, when you get mad, you make static. You ever see your hair stand up on your arm when you get scared, cold, or something like that? When you get mad, sad, hateful, whatever, any low vibration emotion, it creates a charge off of your body. And they are collecting these charges through, let me show you the grid. Let me see if it'll pop up a spiritual grid around the planet. But ley lines. Yes, ley lines, that works. And yes, I did just answer myself. When you get mad, sad, any of that, they collect it in this grid, right? And that's what they use to send to Betelgeuse. The portal to Betelgeuse is underneath the Vatican. If that gives you any insight to like how this really works. Any pain, suffering, all that energy is collected and it feeds Yaldabaoth. It feeds his desire for chaos because he's mad. He only wants to see madness. All he knows is darkness. So when you stop feeding this grid, this earth grid, you connect to a different grid of freedom. That is what ascension is. That is what going from 3D to 5D is. 3D is when you're still attached to this grid. This grid is still feeding off of you. 4D, you're starting to recognize something is wrong here. You're starting to look for higher ideals as you're still seeing the world play out around you, and you might be more susceptible to emotions every now and then, but it's not as bad as when you're really plugged in. Like, did you notice how all your friends were freaking out during elections, or when, well, like Palestine is really sad right now, but that's because they want you to be sad. And the goal is not to lose your feelings and your empathy, but to remove the attachment that is connected to the reptilian brain that acts immediately. That adrenaline is what they need from you, that feeling. So when you disconnect from those emotions and you start observing more, like a monk, you move to 5D, and 5D is a place of peace where you are completely living in your heart space. 5D is the representation of the Jesus energy, of loving other people the same way you love yourself. You never run out because you always have enough for yourself. You always have enough for yourself that you're able to give to others. That is what we're working towards. And this month, I will be explaining how the fuck we're going to do that together, because one day you guys are going to be teaching this shit to other people, and it's super important. So You'll decide your spin on it. But I want to give it to you raw so you can make it what you need to be. We are currently trapped here. And I'm going to teach you all how to untrap yourself from agreements you didn't even know you made. So this was Spirituality 101. The next video in this section is actually going to be a video from somebody else that's about 2 hours long that is explaining a history thing to you. And you guys research this week. Have fun down the rabbit hole. And next week we'll get into some more stuff. Thanks, ladies.